Tamil Nadu, for instance, argues that its share in the national population is 6.21%, while its share in the GDP is 9.16%. Despite that, the state gets only 4.079% as devolution from central taxes. And in successive finance commissions, the share of the state has only decreased. The argument is that how will they fulfill their social responsibilities if the GST that they are dependent on, which is essentially the central funds, gets limited?
See, this narrative has been on for now at least 3 finance commission terms. And the state has repeatedly reminded, and many states in the south, Kerala onwards, have this as a very valid question to ask. Are we being punished for a very effective population, not a control, but population coming down, and probably the reproductive rate is now almost going to be negative? So are we being punished in the sense that you don't have enough number of people, so we will give you only that much, whereas states which have greater population, density of population higher, get more? This has been in 3 finance commissions discussed, and if I know right, from the previous one, Y.V. Reddy Commission onwards, and this one, N.K. Singh Commission, there have been corrections made to it, in the sense some kind of a making up for it, which may or may not be adequate. But the fact that the Finance Commission took the route of trying to amend it or to make up for it in some level itself proves that there is a recognition of the problem. And because there is a recognition, there are ways in which they are trying to make up for it. The issue is live, the issue is constant, the issue is remaining even now. What would be adequate is very difficult to determine, I would think. Because if you just look at population per se and say, give a deflator for those, or give a, offset for those who are densely populated as opposed to Tamil Nadu or as opposed to Kerala, these formulations can be contentious. But Finance Commission is quite seized of it, and they are probably addressing it not to the proportion of expectation, but somewhat.
So, ma'am, in general, when we look at the criticism that has come in, most of the finance ministers of this part have been critical of the GST model. They are almost saying that this game-changing model that we keep talking about has flaws and it has biases.
I'm very tempted to say something which I wouldn't normally say. I do not know if it is just a political narrative which is being thrown. I'm putting it back to you. GST Council, prior to the council was formed, had an empowered group of ministers who actually worked into the details of it and came up with a framework. Who was the pioneering champion of it? Asim Das Gupta, Communist Party man, West Bengal's former finance minister. He spent a lot of time working together with other finance ministers in the GST Council, now the GST Council, but the one before it, the Empowered Ministers Group, always was headed by a finance minister from an opposition-ruled party. Party in the center, opposition party to the center, the finance minister of that party would be the chair of the empowered group of ministers who actually worked into the nitty-gritty of GST much before the council was formed. Council was formed subsequent to the act got passed in the parliament. Asim Das Gupta is no BJP man. Asim Das Gupta is no right-winger. Do you think he would have come up with something which is going to be, I don't know what words I use to describe it, faulty, this, that? That's one argument. Another, it's an institution. For the first time after 1947 in India, a federal institution, constitutionally approved, is formed, and it is working for now 5-6 years. And in India, where 75 years we have worked with institutions and we still think we need to do some amendments. Just after 5 years, we think, oh God, this is so faulty, just throw it in the bin, I have a better solution to come up with. I think all of us should think about what's actually happening. And inside the council, to be fair to every member meaning finance minister from different states, we will discuss at length. And prior to us discussing at length in the council, the officials discuss in their own committees. And only then does it come to the council, and the council again thinks about whatever has been put forth by the committees, threadbare, and then we take a call. Now, if after that you still have ideas to improve it, very welcome. But dumping it and saying, I have a better proposition, sorry, we'll try it, but I'm not sure if that's the way to go about it. Institution building does take time. It's a painful job. All of us will have to contribute to it. To trash it is absolutely easy. Many a times people who have agreed inside the council come out and speak completely against their own decision, which I can understand. Politics takes different colors, different shapes, different opportunities, different times. But inside they've agreed. Every time, and even I must give it to the credit of the council, even during the pandemic, when borrowing at a big level had to be done, to arrive at that decision, it was a tremendous lot of sitting through hours on end and talking. No, this is no good. No, bring it this way, bring it that way. But it had all worked out. So it's all right. Some of us probably will have a greater level of patience, and a few others are probably not so patient enough, but institutions need patience.